as we're waiting for more people to join us. Jill with Data Research and Evaluation, and we're going to be getting started here. Like I said, go ahead and put your name and where you're from in the chat as we're going along. So we have a record of that. So the first thing I wanted to go over today was COVID-19 updates. They have shifted a little bit, and if you downloaded the agenda before about 5 minutes ago, yours may look slightly different than what you're seeing here. Reminder, we do have guidance on COVID-19 frequently asked questions page. That page has been out for quite a while on our website. The first thing I want to go over is the student digital equity fields that we are now collecting in Advisor. And a lot of this hasn't changed from what we've talked about last month. Other states are collecting the same fields. And so a lot of our SIS vendors were already prepared to submit this information. In the past, we've said districts were not required to submit this information, but that has shifted somewhat. We are now saying that you're strongly encouraged to submit this information for these different fields. And we do anticipate that there could be a requirement coming out from the CARES Act for us to be able to submit some of this information up to the feds and for us to be able to get this information from the school districts. So that is a slight shift from where we were. Again, we're working with all vendors to make sure that they have 100% implemented these additional elements into data system. Now today, there will be a memo going out to school districts about the digital equity. September has been named Digital Equity Month, basically, here in Nebraska. So for schools. And so the memo's going out to talk about that. It does list the elements along with some questions that could be asked in order to collect the information. There will also be a webinar about the data elements and the need for this data on September the 17th. That memo that is going out today to the school districts is going out to the superintendent and to the tech coordinators for your schools. So if you want a copy of that memo, reach out to one of those. And that memo, like I said, will also have the link to the webinar so that you can then join the webinar. And some of us from Data Research and Evaluation will also be on that webinar, but it also is also being put on by an outside group. So that, and this same group, I believe, is the ones who have helped us develop Launch NE, but I'm not sure. So anybody have any questions about that right now? Okay. And obviously, we will go over that webinar a little bit next month when we have this same meeting in October. Cannot believe I'm saying October is next month already. We'll obviously share more about it that webinar is also going to be recorded so that if you're not able to attend on the 17th, you'll be able to then later view the recorded version of the webinar. Okay, so Advisor 2021. The Advisor 2021 is open. We're accepting data. And I believe every vendor except SRS is at least conditionally certified. That is listed further on in the agenda here. And as usual, 1920 is also still open. We do have the follow-up collection going through October 15th with the follow-up audit window going through October 31st. We expect that after that point in time, all 1920 data will be cut off. We have to pull the data at that point to do a lot of additional reporting, including SPED exiters, cohort, and a number of different items. So this is pretty much the end of your 1920. So if you're needing to clean up your 1920 data, you'll want to be working on that. I'd encourage you to work on things like making sure all your graduates are listed right now so that you know that your cohort information will be accurate. And also listed here, the certification results are being posted Advisor Resources website. Let's see here. So if we take a look at that right now, you can see here where it is, the different statuses that, if you haven't looked at this page before, when certification was finished, what features are unsupported, what things are still working on. You can go check out your vendor or any other vendors out here. For example, you can see PowerSchool still working on the digital equity, so that data can't be submitted yet through PowerSchool, but all of the vendors are able to submit their regular fall data at this point in time. And also with Advisor 2021 is the Advisor Validation website for 2021. Vast majority of the errors and reports are now available out there. So you can be out there reviewing your reports, looking at errors if you've started submitting data. If you haven't started submitting data, obviously you're going to be getting some errors. Also, if you have errors related to not reporting SPED data and you use SRS, you obviously know that that data simply hasn't been submitted yet because SRS is not certified yet. So we're also working on new reports that allow you to preview the CRDC data that we receive from your district and that we would be submitting for you into the CRDC when it opens next year. Obviously, you can overwrite any of that data that we might submit for CRDC. So Cheryl had a question about summer school grades. Max, do you want to address that?
Yeah, so if you're talking about actual summer school, you are not required to send us that data anymore, the grades. However, we are still accepting updates to your course data and your teachers for 1920 through the follow-up collection. So if you had, anyone making up courses or any just bad data, we would like to get the corrected data for the follow-up collection.
Thanks, Max. So if you have any problems with the Advisor Validation website, just like normal, send in a ticket. We'll take a look at it. If you're expecting an error or a report to be there, let you know that we are working on getting the rest of those updated. Jean asked if there's any special process for setting up 2021 Advisor to send. Pretty sure the setup is different per student information system. There's nothing you need to do between you and I mean between you and NDE, but you'll have to refer to your specific student information system about how you set yourself up to start sending data. Sure. Okay, Advisor Person ID, it's active. We did recently roll out an update that increased the speed of file processing and additional error checking in files. So you might have noticed if you were updating large files to the system that they're working more quickly now. Otherwise, Person ID should pretty much be working like it has been working in the past. The new Advisor dashboard, that has been rolled over to 2021, so you probably won't really see a lot of data in there until you start submitting your data through the student information system. But you can log on to the Nebraska Cloud portal. Sorry about that. And there's a link to it, to the test site right there. And we are still working on adding the assessment data, interventions, early warning system. And if you want a video preview of it, there it is in the data conference website, which is linked also in your agenda. The vendor statuses, we looked at that real quick. Here they are listed out for you. Everyone, like I said, is certified or conditionally certified to submit data except for SRS, who is beginning their certification soon. And just a reminder that your student information system data does have to be submitted before your SRS data can be submitted. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? I know I tend to talk a little fast. Any questions? Did I confuse anybody? So if we don't enter our staff NSSRS data into SIS, the dash, no. We're referring there to not entering, having your student information into the student information system. Your student data in this SIS and submitted to advisor.
Well, I mean, also there is staff data that you submit through your SIS that's used for dashboard access. It is not the full set of data that goes into NSSRS staff reporting, though.
But it's the same data you've submitted in the previous years.
Yeah, nothing's changed with the staff data used for dashboard access. In advisor validation, there is a staff report called staff dashboard access. You can go to that report and see exactly what staff data is coming out of your SIS and how it affects your dashboard access. But it's just basic, a person in the role that they have.
And then we had a question about guidance related to reporting program hours and instructional minutes for staggered starts.
I know in general, there is guidance on the Launch Nebraska website about, instructional minute, being excused from a total. I'm not sure what you mean by staggered starts or how that affects it, but.
Our elementary schools are having students arrive and leave at different times depending on the last letter of their name to avoid mass, gatherings of large groups. So some students might arrive to school at 7:50, and then some students at 8, and then some students at 8:10, etc.
Yeah, I would assume they would be targeting to get everyone with the same amount of minutes, though. But I don't believe I've seen any specific guidance about that. But I would say the launchne.com website would be the first place to start. And if you still have some specific questions, you can submit questions through there, and they'll add it to our FAQ.
Yeah, and we may need to go talk to accreditation about that. About that specific question, Leah.
No problem. Thank you. I'll check out that website as well. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions today? Okay. Like I said, if you want to participate in that webinar, and I would encourage you to do so, if possible. Reach out to your superintendent or tech coordinator about a copy of the memo that's going to be going out. I heard this morning, but I would say at least sometime today. And a week from tomorrow is when that webinar is being held. So you get some more information at that time also. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, we'll be seeing you again in a month. Good luck to y'all. I know it's kind of a crazy year. It is for us too. So we will be talking to you again next month. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.